The first game, we have a full 2 hours of blitz lined up here, as usual. Anyone can challenge. It can be a rated challenge. It can be casual. Up to you if you want to try to take a shot at my rating or not. And good to see everyone on both Twitch and YouTube. Oh, look at the YouTube chat. Hello to you all. YouTube chat absolutely popping off. Good luck. We have quite a few challenges already. I'll try to play as many as I can. I typically get 18 to 20 games. That seems to be about the amount of time that we have, amount of games that we have for this time slot. But you never know. Maybe we'll get more in. Okay, knight c3 makes sense here, as does knight e5. Let's go knight e5. I'm just going to see where my opponent puts this queen. Pertsian says, I'll make John cry. All right. I look forward to seeing you try. Hello, Das Tea House as well. Alex Webb, greetings. All right, black playing carefully here. I think this makes sense, but I might hit black with a quick e4. We'll see how black plays in this exact position. Yeah, let's make this spicy. Let's go bishop b5 check next. All right, I see the Twitch chat as well. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Good evening, B. Buckby. Guess it is the evening for you. Malcolm Tucker, hello. I am the Scandy guy. Yeah, that's me. Hashtag Team Scandy. I'm sure I'll be playing it in a game or two today. Hello, Bass Face, as well as Heady Head. Krawat says, hello from Poland. Yeah, we've got always an international audience here. It's one of the great things about chess, online chess in particular. It's amazing to see where everyone is tuning in from. So thank you for checking out the stream from Poland. Hello, Yanni Gogo. Yes, enjoying my Sunday over here as well. All right, how do I want to play this? Queen a4 is sort of a default move, but black can go knight e7. I'm thinking let's continue playing spicily. If that's a word. I guess I would just say spicy, but let's say spicily. Let's play spicily here. G4 followed by H4. I was checking out some of the games from Tata Steel. I've been, inspired. There's been some really interesting chess played over there. So maybe I can make it interesting today. I'm sure it will be. Now, bishop b4 check would be a common mistake in this position. I can play queen takes b4, and that knight is pinned. So I got my pawn back here. Black structure's still kind of in jeopardy. Maybe not a terrible position for black, but the time situation is concerning for my opponent. All right. Let's just take that. And now these pawns look kind of weak. Maybe I can go attack one, like queen d3. Let's do that. Queen d3, hit g6. Got to be wary of stuff like knight b4, but it's not possible yet. King f7 could make sense. I'm thinking maybe h5 against that. Maybe also a3. Black wins by connect 4. Yeah. If only that were a rule. All right, now let's play a3. We're going to play this safe. Just in case black chases me, I might want to keep my light square bishop and not run into knight b4. I know that seems like an excessively cautious move, but we played it. All right. Since my opponent is in some time pressure, I'm going to play h5. We're going to create maximum tension on the wing over here. Take that. Take here. Give it check. All right. I'm looking for a knockout blow at this point. Not quite seeing it. Let's just play bishop e3. And then... okay, I'll keep this light square bishop. Now, if I castled b5 could be a thing. So, let me think. How do I want to pressure my opponent here? Queen h5, maybe? Queen h5, knight takes d4, though. My king is kind of the issue here. If I can solve my king issue, I think I win this position. Let's go king d1. I know that looks like an odd move, but there is a method to my play here. And now I'm going to rotate the queen over. We got to get the queen working in this direction. Threats like this. I think too much for black to cope with here. Black did manage to coordinate some pieces, but the king situation's too dire. All right. Thank you, Don Khan, for the game. Tough position. Yeah, you're kind of scrambling out of the opening to defend there. That's why you got to be careful about moving the bishop early in these Slav positions. This tends to come up. This comes up like maybe every other week on Lichess plays. But typically you want to play a knight out first to reinforce the center because often you'll get hit with this c takes d5, c takes d5, queen b3 operation. So thank you for the game. Frank Tan is next. Hello, Clevwood Bit. Also, Rajas Giant. Thank you for tuning in. And ZZOM. Frank Tan, are you there? How do we request? So you can search my username on Lichess, which is Fins, F-I-N-S, and then you can challenge me to a 3-0 game. Frank, last chance. Knock, knock. All right, we got to abort. We got to keep this moving. You can always challenge again, Frank. Oh, no, yo-yo. All right, good luck. Any chance at a Stonewall? Stonewall's interesting. You know, I played the Stonewall as black against d4 for quite a bit in my youth. That was a line that, yeah, I often played within the Dutch system. I don't really know why I gave it up. Oh, no, yo-yo, are you there? Oh, no, offline. Yeah, very possibly. All right, we got to keep moving. So, yeah, I can try a Stonewall. Absolutely. Tadziolol. Tadziolol is going to be here. There we go. Didn't let me down. All right, Caro Khan. Such a popular opening right now. I think because of Levy Rosman's influence. He plays it a lot. And, you know, there's always a trickle-down effect with openings these days. It used to be like if a top player plays an opening, you might expect to see it. Now I think if a streamer plays an opening and really, you know, talks it up, I think you're more likely to see it online than even if like Magnus plays it. So times have changed a little bit. Okay, this could get interesting. Let's play g4. Let's try to attack the black king. Black's choosing a pretty passive setup, so I feel liberated to play this move. Saved by Grace, thank you very much for tuning in from South Africa. Ooh, and my opponent takes this pawn. This could get potentially ugly for black. I don't think black has to panic yet, but they need to play pretty accurately already here. Ooh, okay, I'm already looking at rook takes g7. It's not going to work out yet. I think I need my other rook able to come over here, or ideally maybe my queen to come over. So knight e5, another move that looks pretty spicy in this position. Let's go knight e5. I mean, it allows the queen some access here, maybe to the g file. Increases the tension. If knight takes knight, bishop takes. I still have a ton of heat converging here. Okay, queen a5. So black declines, but I think that's going to be probably losing pretty simply to this move. And if black takes with the knight, we got rook takes g7 with discovered attacks galore after that. Little windmill possible idea. Yeah, and here we're going to take on f6. I just got to figure out which piece I want to take with. Could also maybe play rook takes g7. Looks unnecessary. Rook takes g7, queen g4. Yeah, totally unnecessary. Just think of the best way to do this. Feel like we're close to force mate. Yeah, realistically, both moves are very good, though. I guess I'll just take with the knight. Yeah, take here. Okay. And now if I can get my queen to h6, this is GG. So queen e3 looks pretty decent. Allows queen h5 as a defense, but there's bishop e2. I could go rook g5 maybe. Maybe. You know what? Let's try rook g5. I got an idea. Hello, Doth Crane. Thank you for tuning in. Doth Crane is a faithful viewer of my streams as well. I do stream on my own channel. Just as a heads up if you've never seen my streams before. Shout out to the Lichess mods, by the way. No Joke Chess. I'm sure you're there. Shout out to No Joke as well. Also, Numeroid often tunes in for this stream. And, helps regulate the chat if necessary. All right, so I'm thinking queen h5 and then get into h6 via this route. I know black can take on a2, but there's really, I think, not much to fear because my bishop always guards a1. I kind of want to go for like bishop d3, queen takes h7, rook h5, rook h8, but it's just unnecessarily fancy. Good afternoon. Brooklyn, New York is here, says Smokey Lock. Are you Maurice Ashley? You know, the conspicuous mention of Brooklyn when no one asked? Just kidding. Glad Brooklyn's in the house. Oh, and we have Maurice Smashley in the chat too. So just as I say that. All right, Tadzio. Thank you for the game. Yeah, this I think is just too passive of a setup, and I don't think you can take g4 and survive. Maybe if you play f5 here, but it looks real dicey to me. Let's just verify with the engine. Okay, yeah, the engine's showing +1.5, maybe +2. Actually does say knight gf6. I went knight e5 here. Lots of other moves available. I did think about this one briefly. Also queen e3. Okay, it says here maybe you can defend if you play accurately, but the fact that it's showing an edge for white and white's down a pawn, I think in practice this is going to be real tough for black. So this is kind of an interesting system. Usually they do not play e6 here. Some of you guys might know this line. You can always consult the database if you're kind of curious, but I think taking on e4 and then this queen d5 move makes a lot of sense. Looking for a queen trade, knight d7 as well. Just don't play against queen e2. Don't make the classic mistake of playing knight bd7 here. Many of you have probably seen this checkmate before. So, yeah, don't blunder into that. Thanks for the game. Who's up next? Manhattan Project. Manhattan Project 9, good luck. Let's play in English here. Oh, and Tadzion says, I only know that knight d7 hangs mate. Yeah. Okay, let's do this. Malcolm Tucker says, I blunder into that in Bullet lately. Yeah, if you check the Lichess database, you'll see you're definitely not alone. Hundreds of people have blundered into that, maybe thousands. Let's play the principled move in this position against this triangle. Some of you may know the theory here. Black is supposed to play d takes e4, knight takes e4, bishop e4 check. That's the supposed best way to play. I think this is also a move like knight e4. I don't know how great it is, but I'm already getting Greek gift vibes here. A potential Greek gift idea. I have in mind what I'm going to play if black plays a couple standard moves. Yeah, just to reiterate, you can challenge me to rated or unrated. It just has to be 3 minutes. So 3 minutes only. And we're getting Greek gift vibes here because if black castles, they're going to get smacked with bishop takes h7, knight g5. And I don't think black will survive that. I thought black would put the bishop on e7. I think black sees what I'm up to here. They might play h6. They might move their queen. Those moves seem plausible. Maybe even c5. Oh, all right. Black says, John, maybe I see bishop takes h7, but I don't believe you. But this is a pretty classic Greek gift here. Black takes it. Now, do you guys know what is typically one of the most important tests of the Greek gift, whether it works or not? It's not a move that you might expect, but it's often this move king g6. So it'll be interesting if black plays this. I think under the circumstances they should, because king g8 is going to lose pretty trivially. All right, they take there, but that's defended. We'll investigate king g6. It wasn't looking good for black because I have moves like queen g4 or queen d3. But again, I might have tried it if I were playing them just because the alternatives were so bad. Yeah, queen d3 check f5. It's not looking too hot. I mean, there's moves like knight takes e6 in a position like that, or taking en passant, and then knight h7. But Under the circumstances, I do believe that was best for black. Okay, let's just castle here. This is not a position I can win immediately, but the extra material is certainly enough. Have you guys been enjoying the Tata Steel tournament? Did you guys follow it today or this weekend in general? I think Magnus and Schock are still leading. But Anish Giri got his third victory in a row today. He had that forfeit victory against Dubov, and he won that game against Fabiano, where Fabiano blundered rook b6. And today he beat Esipenko. So he's on a roll, 3 in a row. Yeah, sorry, spoiler alert. I should have mentioned that. Ooh, this is a daring operation. You know what I'm going to do against this? We're going to bring this bishop back to c1. Okay, knight b4, but I think this is still going to work out for me. I guess maybe there could be a rescue operation. I could also maybe go knight b1. Actually, that move's kind of funny, knight b1. That might be the best move here. Should I play it for the memes? You got to play it for the memes. Knight b4, king d2. And how do you save this bishop? The bishop, black slammed the door on their own bishop, although if they move the bishop, I was going to take the knight on b2. Retreat to attack, remember that. Please play low e23. Well, remember, I accept challenges randomly here, so you enter the challenge pool, and I select randomly from there. There's no rhyme or reason. It's just the algorithm. Yeah, and Manhattan Project resigns. Let's check that real quick. You know, this line, I think, is already kind of tough for black. This position after black plays knight f6, e5, knight d7. Again, the main line is to take here and then go bishop b4. There's quite a bit of theory there because there is a gambit line here. This is the Marshall Gambit. Marshall Gambit in d4, by the way. So this variation, where black's up a pawn, but white has a lot of compensation. As played, let's just take a quick peek. Yeah, castles gets the double question mark, plus 7.2 after that move. Take here. And let's just see what the engine thinks. Yeah, king g8 and queen takes g5 are rated higher than king g6. So it makes me think king g6 is probably losing. But in the king g8 line and queen takes g5, black's going to lose the queen. Although king g8, interestingly, I would play queen h5 here. Because here's a typical operation. If black plays rook e8, you actually don't go check here right away, because then they're going to slip out. And white's attacking f7, still great for white, but there's no mate. Oftentimes with this Greek gift, you can take the f7 pawn with check first, because they've moved their rook to try to give their king running room, right? You take the f7 pawn check first, then you double back like this, and you can deliver the same sequence, but there's no pawn on f7 at the end, and it's checkmate. Typical line out of the Greek gift. This is absolutely textbook for this sacrifice. So yeah, the engine does think black's best bet to continue this game is to give up the queen. But here, h4. Yeah, h4. I should have mentioned that move. I was also thinking about queen d3, but h4, h5 is a very respected way to continue the attack here too. Pretty standard as well. So this does look like too much. Even if f5's played, this is not giving black a retreat square. Black gets forced into like a discovery. Looks like they're going to lose the queen anyways. Okay, so thanks to the Game Manhattan Project. Watch those Greek gifts. Beware of Greeks bearing gifts. C-Spell, you're up. Good luck. Yep, Vidit doing well. Yep, you guys might have seen that game, Dubov versus Vidit, with Vidit's king walk. Okay, someone was asking about a Stonewall, so let's try to get into that. Gaudaman asks, John, do you enjoy playing the Sicilian? I do, yes. The Sicilian is one of my weapons. As black, I tend to play classical variation and also the Khan. So this is the Stonewall setup. I'm going to play c6 and bishop d6 after this. You arrange these pawns on light squares. The dark square bishop is a absolutely critical piece for black in this opening. Beware. I'm going to go knight bd7. I don't want white's knight jumping in here. Now, white has actually played this fairly passively. I'm not worried about e4 because in the Stonewall, you have that square on absolute lockdown. Normally, black goes for long strategic maneuvers here. You can often fight with like a closed position. But I'm definitely feeling a little frisky here because of how white has played this. So I'm going to go rook g8 and try to launch an attack. And I'm really curious how my opponent's going to respond to this. So we're going to do this. Now, if white takes, I'm going to take with a c pawn because I want to keep this pawn defended. All right, so yeah, white's already, I think, realizing what I'm up to, but this move loses a pawn for my opponent. Am I going to have another chance for a Greek gift at some point? If only my pawn were back here, I might have this. Probably doesn't work in this instance, though, because they have knight f3. All right, let's take here then. You never know, though. Things might develop. We might still have a sacrifice. Can you try Budapest Gambit? You guys are going to try to push me out on the risk curve, aren't you? You're going to increasingly ask for gambits and crazy variations. Yeah, I can try Budapest. Budapest. I can try it. Okay. Again, I'm looking at bishop takes h2, knight g4. It's not really working. Let's go g4. Do I know the Muzio Gambit? Yes, I do. That's a gambit in the King's Gambit. I think where you give up your knight on f3. Black plays g4, attacking that knight, and you just give it up. You're like castle. Okay. Have I played the Alekhine Chatard Gambit against the French? I have before, yes. All right, risky move to play here, too, because this allows me to open a line right in front of my opponent's king. I think what C-Spell is trying to do is they're like over-defending. Even when I hinted that I was going to play g5, they immediately played knight e5. So it is a good idea to try to play actively when your opponent is looking to attack on a wing. Ideally, you do want to play in the center, but I think they've played a little too recklessly here. Is John still undefeated in these streams? No, absolutely not. I have not been undefeated since probably last summer in this. I think I lose a game like once every maybe 1.5 to 2 Lichess play streams. That's about the frequency. Okay, so again, I'm looking at these sacrifices, just not quite seeing how it works. Knight e4 looks pretty natural here. I'm going to go knight e4 because it restricts my opponent's development. Knight g4 probably made sense too. Queen g7. Threatening mate. Okay, knight b5. Can I do this? Check, because then if king h1, knight f2 is mate. If king f3, queen g4 is mate. Same with king h3. So that only leaves king f1. Then I can play bishop takes h2. It's sketchy. Bishop h2 followed by rook takes g2 also comes to mind, but likewise kind of sketchy. So let's just play a standard move here. I'm tempted, though, but this is how I get in trouble. I try to do things that are unnecessarily flashy. And I get in time pressure. Okay, knight comes back. Let's castle here. We're getting all the big guns involved. Hopefully this rook. I am reading the chat, yes. Absolutely. Let's attack the queen. All right, and now I'm going to look to double maybe. "21 seconds to my opponent's 30-some. Yeah, he's defending all right. Unfortunately, it's just a pretty difficult position for white because of all the pressure. Now if g3, I think I'm ready for a breakthrough. Yeah, and this is going to be checkmate next move. Knight f2 mate. There's also rook takes h2 mate. But you got to mate with the knight, right? All right. Thank you for the game C spell. Yeah, I think you just want to consider a little more closely how you're going to play a break in these situations. All these moves make some sense, but your dark square bishop is blocked in, but my light square bishop is locked in, to be honest. So maybe that balances out. But rook e1, I don't know if I like that move because you're not threatening to go e4 with black controlling these squares. That's the hallmark of the Stonewall formation. So, I think it's better to try to angle for c4 earlier, try to stake out a little more territory here. I would still go d5 anyways, but you're going to have more ability to play on the queen side, especially there. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Ellen Nilsson, for the raid. Appreciate it. Rating with 101 viewers. Greetings to Ellen's viewers. I hope you had a great stream, Ellen. This is Lichess Plays. I play viewers pretty much every week. What is this? Wait, what did I just do? New game. Okay, that was weird. I was stuck in a time loop there. But yeah, anyways, this is Lichess Plays. And I play viewers for 2 hours, 3+0 blitz every week. And it's a lot of fun. Viewers try to take me down. I do occasionally lose games. I don't run the table here. You really did want to play. Yeah, exactly. Did I just click on that game and it was still up in one of my tabs? That was weird. I don't know what happened there. Good luck, Vladimir, by the way. All right, let's again try to play in enterprising fashion here. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to play queen d2, castles, try to run these pawns. Oh, but my opponent took the eye. Oh, Vladimirov playing too fast. Yeah, Vladimirov resigns. So black should play that position, something like bishop d7, and then as soon as I indicate I'm going to castle queenside, if I were playing black, I'd start shoving the queenside pawns. I'd start expanding over there, create a little counterweight to what white's going to do on the king side, because very likely I'm going to be pushing those pawns. Yeah, that went downhill pretty fast. And, I know it's a bad situation already, but when you blunder in chess, take a little more time than usual on your next move. Try to calm yourself down, soberly reassess the situation. Against a lot of your opponents, you're going to have a chance again, for sure. Even at my level, sometimes, a blunder of this caliber is pretty significant. But if I blunder a pawn or something in a blitz game, or vice versa, my opponents blunder against me, it's by no means over. So take a deep breath, take a little more time than usual. Maybe have a sip of water or something, and reassess. Red Avalanche, good luck. Hello, Michael H. on YouTube. Red Avalanche, are you there? Red Avalanche is there. Okay. All right, c4. What do I want to do against this? Let me think. All right, we're going to postpone a decision. I'm just going to make a move. I thought I had looked at a line against the English I was interested in playing, but I can't remember now. So I'll just play a King's Indian. I've been looking into some King's Indian stuff recently. This is not really in my repertoire, but I find it fascinating. Super flexible variation. It just strikes me how often in the King's Indian, for both white and black, you reach positions in the 5 to 10 move range where both sides have an enormous number of options, like 3, 4, 5 different main lines that all lead to distinct types of positions. So that's one thing that's been interesting me. I played a lot more King's Indian over the years from the white side than the black side, that's for sure. Okay, knight f3. So this is an unusual exchange variation. I think this is a type of exchange variation I should be pretty happy about in theory. Let's go rook e8. I'm just going to sidestep any bishop g5, also defend this pawn. Because I think this bishop should be pretty ineffective here. And long term, this structure for white, where there's this hole on d4, kind of the eye of the pawn there, that tends to work out pretty well for black. So let's see if I can prove that, because I have the option of this move to stop the knight from coming into d5. But white does not have the option of stopping the knight from coming into d4 with a pawn, because they've already bypassed that square. All right, knight a4, probably angling here, but that might just lose this pawn. Yeah, I'm going to take it. Oh, thank you, Pizza Fanatic. Says, I like your voice. I appreciate it. I was actually thinking for fun of submitting. So, like, I have an Audible account. I listen to a lot of audiobooks. I've really got into that the past maybe 6 months or so. And I was thinking about submitting like an author resume. You can submit like a 2-minute clip to Amazon Audible for voiceover work. I was just thinking of doing it because chess is my full-time occupation and most always has been for my adult life. But it'd be fun to just like try something totally new for the lulz, you know? Probably slim chance that they would take me because I have absolutely no resume in the voiceover industry. But it'd be cool to see what they say. And it's a 2-minute clip, whatever. So I might do that. All right. So I'm still up a pawn here, still attacking the structure. White should play b3 here, but now we're going to start leaning on them. We're going to lean on this structures, try to create some weaknesses. You'd buy that, Tanaran? Oh, thank you. Yeah. What books would I read? I mean, I guess probably if you get a job like that and you're a total newbie, I'm guessing you just take whatever they give you, whatever they ask you to read. You know, I could be reading like Green Eggs and Ham or something on audiobook. You got to work up to the really valuable titles. You got to prove your chops. Yeah, Eric has a soothing voice. I agree, Ian James. Totally. But audiobooks are really interesting, right? Like I have found my enjoyment of an audiobook does vary pretty significantly based on the person narrating it. And I've actually bought books on Audible, like based on who the narrator was. And I've returned one title in the past because the person's voice annoyed me. And I couldn't imagine like listening to 16 hours of that person's voice. I hate to say it, but that does matter a lot. Oh, this rook is hanging. Maybe White meant to insert that trade, but they didn't do that. Thanks for the game, Red Avalanche. This is our 4th game, actually. Or 3rd game. 4th? 3rd? Unclear. Yeah, 3rd, I think. So that trade on e5, I wouldn't recommend it in this variation. And a lot of times in these fianchetto lines, they don't even play e4 early. Knight f3 would be the standard move here because you don't really want to block that light score bishop. You want to keep that diagonal open for the opportunities down here. So thank you for the game. Guybrush Monkey, good luck. Scott Brick is one of the best narrators, says Charles. I don't know who that is. What book is 60 hours? If you don't mind me asking, well, I'm sure something like War and Peace is probably more. No, there's a lot of audio. I said 16, not 60. But especially if you get some like nonfiction type stuff, some pretty dense stuff, a lot of them, they're up there. I'm sure a lot of fiction as well. Guybrush Monkey, are you there? Okay, we have a lot of people who are AFK. We got to abort this game first. Mitch Mack. Ooh, 23:45. All right, I got to be on my game here. I'm feeling Joe Bava London. If Mitch Mack is here. The Stand by Stephen King is like 54 hours. Wow. Charles says, I have War and Peace in my library. It's 56 hours. There you go. Okay, C5. Let's play. Yeah, this move kind of crosses the Joe Bava London, doesn't it? All right, I guess I'll go D5. I don't know what to do there to avoid, or to try to force a Joe Bava London. Let's play this move. This looks interesting. You could do the youth pastor voice. Yeah, that was a pretty epic comment someone left on my YouTube channel one time. Someone wrote on my YouTube channel that John has big youth pastor energy. Here, I think there's only one good move for black, by the way, and it was not knight g8. I think queen e7 is what you got to do there. This is maybe playable, but it does not look good. Do I play queen takes d5 or knight takes d5? I don't know. I'm going to go here. Oh, thank you, E-King. E-King says I have good chances with Audible. Yeah, it'd just be fun, right? It's good to push yourself to do new things. It'd be fun to just apply. Oh, yeah, did d4 lose a piece? Take f6, take c3, queen e2 probably. Yeah, maybe d4. Okay, I thought I remembered d4 being a move there, but you're right. That was just losing a piece. Good call. So maybe black did play the best move. Maybe that line is just not good for black. I think that's probably the case. All right, let's go. Let's just castle. Bishop g5 coming, maybe. What's a stop to that? All right. Bishop e3. I'm thinking maybe some ideas of this and this. Black's in a bit of a bind here. Doesn't look fatal. But... oh, I've got a dirty trick. Get ready for this. Get ready. Does this work? Take, take. I hope my rook doesn't get trapped at the end. I so want to do this. Don't tell me my rook gets trapped at the end. It might, though. Oh, man. That's disgusting. Take, 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 take. King back, take. Or king e6, maybe. But then knight d8? Or knight a5? Wait, knight d8, rook c7? How actually does black approach my rook? All right, we're going to go for it. Shoot first, ask questions later. Once you see a motif like this, you're not going to likely tear yourself away from it. But if my rook gets trapped behind enemy lines, I'm going to be a little upset. Yeah, black could go king e7 here, king d8, but I kind of think they're going to... okay. I thought they might take. Now, do I really push the envelope with this? Probably no good. Let's just play here. Okay. Go h3. I want to sack. It's not too sound, though. Let's just go here. Black's still pretty bound up in the center. Knight takes e5 is not a threat because this bishop's always hanging at minimum. All right, all right. I'm going to go h4. g4, knight h2. And now maybe f4 or bishop g5 followed by e6, something like that. Let's go f4. Let's support the pawn chain. Yeah, a little bit of time pressure here, for sure. Ooh, my opponent does not take. All right, well, let's maneuver the knight now. Time to maneuver. All right, give me that. Big time weaknesses here and here. Yeah, I think this position's too tough to hold together. Wow, d5. Oh, let's just advance. Oh, can he take? I have check. Or just pin, maybe? Might try it for lack of better options. Go here. Banish that bishop. Here, here. Yeah, this is totally winning. e6 after the rook moves. My opponent's going to try to blockade. But no dice. Too much. Restrict the knight. Just ultra technical. Also totally unnecessary. Okay. Thank you, Mishmack, for the game. Let's check that real quick because I forgot who it was in the chat. Someone pointed out a nice line. Furid Row here, first-time chatter. They corrected my instinct, which was that black should play d4. Which I think if you're going to go into a variation like this, it's the move you want to play. But I do believe you're correct that d4 just take, and if black takes here, chain reaction, we catch them on the file. So it seems like this is just a bad line for black. It's already plus 3.5. d4 top move, but that doesn't inspire confidence. d5 at this point, yeah, but black doesn't have enough compensation. Interesting. So, yeah, I think if black's going to enter this line, sort of Benoni-esque, they should play d6, which stops e5 in every occasion, at least for now, and stabilizes the position a little bit. Danya just explained this trick the other day. Oh, interesting. Okay, got it. And let's just take a real quick look. Does queen takes f7 work out? No. No, come on, Stockfish. Come on. Queen takes f7 double question mark? You're killing me here. Okay, so it says black should take, and black saw my idea, which is certainly why they didn't do this. Now what? King e8. Oh, it is the line. Yeah, because of knight e6. I think I calculated this originally, and I think I forgot that knight e6 was a move. And the rook. It's trapped behind enemy lines. I'm pretty sure I did originally calculate this, and then I revisited the line, and I'm like, how does my opponent attack the rook? Because they can't go knight c6 or knight b7. Like, there's no move towards the queen side, but actually it's this square. It seems obvious when you get here, but oh, man, that would have been... You know what I probably would have done? I probably would have played rook c6, and then on king d7, I would have sacked the exchange, and I would have gone for it, mainly out of pride. I would have been... unable to withdraw my ego from the situation, I would have done this. Still equal somehow. I do have 2 pawns for the exchange, but that was a key moment in the game right there. All right. Thank you for the game, Mishmack. Who's up next? Antono with the Lichess patron wings next to their name. Just as a reminder, you can become a Lichess patron. Cue In the Arms of the Angel music. In the arms of the angel. No, Lichess is a well-funded site by donations, but they can, of course, always use your support. If you use the site a lot, consider making a donation. I think you can donate as little as $1. If you want to make any sort of contribution, it's possible, and it goes to supporting the site. Lichess is a fully transparent site with its finances. You can find a breakdown of those finances on their website. And by the way, they don't ask me to do this at all. I just want to mention it because it's good to be a patron and a supporter of a beautiful free site that always will remain free. That is their mission. Better castle here before d5 hurts me. For just $5 a month, you can support a chess website for a full month. I think they really should make something like that for fun and like have, I don't know. It could be good if it's done in a tasteful way, of course. Because, of course, there's a lot of charitable causes that are very serious. But whenever I do like a read like that, I'm thinking, okay, this is like exactly what they say on TV. I'm sure Lichess could implement a concept like that nicely. Let's go bishop f4. I got to unwind my pieces here. This isn't looking like so comfortable for me at the moment. Oh, hey, neural mapping. It says audiobook, yes, singing career dubious. I tend to agree. All right, I got to be careful. Antono maybe lining up a little mate here. Let's go f5. Let's pre-move this just in case he takes. Rook takes e6. I don't think my opponent's going to do that, but you never know. All right. Now, do I save this dark square bishop or trade it? Kind of think I should save it. Let's go back. Very tangled position here. Only a couple pawns have been traded. Is my lifetime Scandi still in the work? It's been put on hold, Alex XB. It is sort of a long-term project for me, but yeah, no particular timeline at the moment. Still figuring out some logistics and the theoretical direction of it, too. Thank you for asking, though. I do play the Scandinavian a lot. All right. This is loose now, so I'm very tempted to occupy this long diagonal. Maybe get firing towards the white king. Let's see how that turns out. Okay, queen d3. Yeah, so I'm already thinking of knight moves here that can unleash this light square bishop. This one looks kind of tempting because if this knight takes, there's a mate on g2 or h1. But the problem is white's going to take this way, or they should. Then do I have taking here? There's rook e5. Looks kind of murky. I don't think I should do that. Still, though, the position looks pretty awkward for my opponent. I'm going to go bishop f6. Maybe to add another attacker here. Now, this may be a threat. Do I do it right now? Nah. Too murky still. We got to take. Let's just control the c5 square. I'm loading up for it, though. Beware of the knight jump. Working on the knight moves. Yeah, that's right. Shout out to Bob Seeger. All right, let's go. Let's go knight b5. We're going to get everyone involved here. That knight's not doing much. Watch the time, John. Watch the time. Is it time now? Speaking of time. Take, take, take. I'm going to do it. I think this might lead to some simplifications. Oh, not that way, though. Never with that knight. That leads to checkmate. I think the line white has to go for here... Oh, no, actually the line I was thinking of doesn't even work because I hallucinated the same thing, actually, that white could take here, but it still loses. So this is probably winning. Black's up 2 pawns, ton of pressure here. Yeah, white just can't move that knight, period. I'm pretty sure that's dead winning here. Yeah. King g2, you'd hate to have to play, putting your king in a pin. Okay, thank you for the game, Antono. This is an interesting line. You know, I actually faced this in an over-the-board game one time, this exact gambit line. It's kind of obscure. Now that I think about it, I have a funny anecdote about this. So I played as black in this line, pretty sure it's this exact position, at the 2011 U.S. Open in Orlando, Florida. So over 10 years ago now. And I did play the move knight c7. I was playing a player somewhat lower rated than me. I think they were maybe 2,200 U.S. Chess Federation rating. 2,100 maybe. And they played in a similar fashion, and I won the game. I actually returned the pawn at some point and won the game. I was playing next to the Dutch Grandmaster, Luc Van Welly. You guys know him, Luc Van Welly? He's probably not so active in tournaments these days, but I think he's still around commenting and probably doing various chess work, still very much involved in chess. And after the game, he asked me why I didn't play knight e7 in this position. And he said knight e7 was a more thematic move, like trying to get the knight out this way. He thought it would be more active. So that was kind of cool, like just unprompted. He's a grandmaster. He doesn't know me at all. He just asked me, he's like, hey, like, did you think about knight e7 in this position? And I said, no, I didn't. Thank you for the suggestion. And I repeated my same knight c7 move. So old habits die hard, I guess. But Luke, I should have played knight e7 for you. All right. Thanks again for the game, Antono. The Great Peter is next. Good luck. Good luck to you. He has played Magnus, yes. Yeah. You know, he was a big-time player, especially in the late 90s, early 2000s. Yeah, he played a lot of elite events. Very sharp player, likes dynamic positions. I remember him mostly for like tons of theoretical Sicilians he would get involved in for both white and black. Gray Sensei says, I know him from the Smith-Morra game versus Mark Esserman. Yeah, I think that game was played at that tournament, the U.S. Open in Orlando 2011. Could have been a different tournament in Florida, like somewhere in Miami maybe, but I'm pretty sure it was that event. Beautiful game, like model game in the Smith-Morra Gambit. Okay, I played bishop e2. I maybe should have gone bishop d3 because I think bishop d3 is considered a bit better. Here, do I play d3? I feel like d3 might be the move. Let's do it. Usually, you're pretty happy to play d3 if you get the chance in this line. White's up a pawn, but they need to consolidate. Yeah, Mark won that game. That's right. Mark playing white, big expert in the Smith-Morra Gambit, written a book on it. He won that game. Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't know that Luc Van Welle was a Dutch politician now. Had no idea about that. John, have you played Magnus? Yes, I have played Magnus exactly one time. It was in the, I think it was the second titled arena ever. Second or third. We played a bullet game. I won a pawn early on in the Scandinavian. Magnus gambited a pawn. But you guys can probably guess the result. All right, let's go bishop e3. I don't think black has much compensation here, but I still need to be careful. This pawn's a little bit weak. So moves like knight d5 maybe come to mind. Knight d5 actually might win the pawn back now that I think about it, because black could take there and try to target this. This move I don't think is so great. Let's go queen e1. Okay. So again, this targets this. But this is a little bit different now, because I could take queen takes g5. My knight would not be under attack from the pawn here. I'm also thinking if I want to try to cheap shot my opponent. But queen h4, h6. Admittedly, then I could play knight takes d5, however, which may not be so bad. Looking for other moves. My tactical sense is kind of pinging here, but I don't exactly see why I would have a tactic. All right, you know what? I'm going to play the queen h4 move. It's a little test for the great Peter. You think chess is still underrated? That's an interesting question. I don't remember saying that it was underrated. I do think chess is a great game. Probably one of the best, most balanced games out there. Okay, correct move. Now, let's see how black reacts to this one. I'm curious. Could I play an Evans? You guys want all the gambits, don't you? Oh, queen e8 is not the move. This is checkmate. I wonder why they played queen e8. The great Peter, why did you play queen e8? Was that a mouse slip? Just trying to figure out some reasoning for that. But yeah, that takes the eye off the knight for one thing, but yeah, misses the main threat. So black should probably just take this knight at this point. I was going to take on d5. Just kind of keeping my options open in that regard. Let's say queen takes g5 here. I can take with the knight. It's kind of like in the centralization, but you know, black's definitely surviving at this point. And that was a bit of hope chess by me. The engine does not like queen h4, but it seemed interesting. Posed some problems for my opponent, so I went for it. He could have been trying to play queen takes g5. Yeah, they might have been attempting to take, and the queen got moved to a different piece, like touched the wrong square. So the engine really likes this move. The bishop f3. Yeah, I briefly thought about this. This is pretty awkward. Fianchettoed knights are usually not good pieces. So those of you who play this line, you might know this, but in this exact position, the main move for black, and probably the only good move, to be honest, is h6. And you chase the knight. You chase again. And then here, bishop d6, I think, is the strongest. Attacking the knight in the center. d4. You take en passant, and then the knight is again under attack. White can take back here, but you can see in the database there's quite a few games from this position, and black does okay. Engine doesn't account for mental damage. Right, yes, the engine does not take into account the psychology behind the moves. So thank you for the game, the great Peter. Virato is next. Good luck. Okay, so we've had a Budapest Gambit. Evans. I don't know. I'm trying to think of other Gambits I might play. Let's go Alekine's Defense. Not that there's a Gambit in here per se I'm thinking of, but let's do this. This merges with some Scandi type stuff. Especially if white takes, as they just did. E5. Probably the somewhat better move. This move, you generally want to get out of the habit of playing moves like bishop e5 check when the opponent can simply push a pawn and defend. It's just not a great like one-off type of move to make. And this is almost always a constructive pawn push, so that's the type of move you can almost conclusively eliminate unless you have a very strong reason to play it. Play Shera Gambit. Like Magnus today against Shankland. That was interesting to see his opening choice there. Hennig von Schreera Gambit. Pretty decent Gambit, especially as a surprise weapon. I've thought about playing that myself. Okay, let's go here. I've got a little bit of pressure. Okay, interesting move. Maybe knight b4. White's got to stay guarding this pawn, so let's see where they put the queen. White's queen might be a little bit overloaded, though, I'm thinking. So if white plays queen e2, let's see if I can catch white napping here. I might have caught my opponent. Yeah, I think white had to take with the pawn there, although honestly, that wasn't looking too hot either. Rook a4, probably a good move, defends this. Now I can back my knight out. I might just want to do that because the knight is a little bit caught behind enemy lines. Could try to get fancy, something like this, but I don't want to give up two minor pieces. Queen h4 first. Seems to be playing with fire after g3. Yeah, I think I'm going to play this safe and back the knight out. Nothing glamorous. Have I played Levy in a classical game? No, I have not. We've never played over the board. I don't actually even think I've seen him at too many tournaments in the past. I'm sure we played at the same events, but nothing really comes to mind. I do not know that Gambit, no. Tarun. Okay, let's keep this. I want to keep this knight defended. Generally, you don't want to allow... Oh, okay, fancy move here. So I think white's trying to knock this out. This actually could be a good move. I think I should go here. Because if takes... Yeah, I don't know about rook takes b4. Maybe I had something like b5 there. But this move's solid. Knight d5. Absolutely standard structure I'm working with. And up a pawn. Do I think the classical time formats in Tata Steel should be shortened? What's the time control at Tata Steel? I actually don't even know. I assume they get some time added at move 40. Something like 30 minutes. It's probably 40 moves in 90 minutes and then another 30 minutes or maybe another hour. Well, thank you, Matt Proud. Matt has a very kind message, says, love the mixture of chill vibes and instructional content. Thank you very much. That's what we go for here. 100 minutes plus 30 at move 40. That seems pretty normal to me for an event of that caliber. I have no issues with it. Okay, let's just play a useful move here. White's defending well, so I'm going to be patient. Yeah, h3. White does the same. Now, I got to figure out how to get rid of this knight. Like, this knight is bothering me because it's defending this pawn. I'm not seeing, like, a clearly good way to do this. I need my queen to hold this. I probably just need to rearrange a little bit. I'm going to send the rook over so I can get this other one to this square. It's a bit time-consuming, but the position is so closed, I don't see any danger here. So I'm going to go for this. Still no danger. This rook's a little bit under fire, but it is backed up. 50 minutes at move 40. 100 plus 50 plus 20. What? Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, that's getting a little bit long. That makes sense because the games are, you know, I'm often asleep when the games start. That's for sure. But now that you guys say that, I can see why it's produced some long games. Double attack. All right, let's just take here. I got to hurry. I got to fly now. We need to turn on the afterburners here. I think I'm going to win another pawn. So got to convert this. Maybe knight d2 coming up. Now, white might take and play rook e2. That's like a typical kind of semi-mistake I would see here. But white correctly keeps pieces on. I think they're just not going to have enough in the tank, though. Ooh, that's a trade. And now I'm going to simplify this to a pawn endgame. King takes d2. Go into a pawn endgame. Reduces the chance that I would mess this up. Up 3 pawns here. Thank you, Vrato, for the game. I think you played fine. You know, I think that mistake in the opening with your queen, maybe you have something to get out of it here, but it's a little awkward for you already. So I didn't like that bishop b5 decision. Your bishop got a little sidelined, ended up getting traded. I think your position's still largely all right, but let me check what... oh, wow. The engine really likes black's position here. I've said this before, but you guys might notice in analyzing your games, especially if you've been around chess for a while, the new engines running on good hardware, they are so decisive in their evaluations when they think that there's an advantage for one side. Like, I would never look at this position and be like, this is -3, unless there's a tactic I was straight up missing. But for the engine thinks this is like a trivial win for black. It's only 1 pawn. Granted, there's some structural issues, but to me, it looks like there's still a full-fledged game of chess left here, but the engine's like, nah, white's busted. So I think you played just fine, Vrato. Thank you for the game. But yeah, avoid that bishop b5 idea in the opening. Okay, Vogel is next. Good luck. What do we want to play? Let's try another Jobava. I've been interested in getting a little more experience in this line. Do you guys play the Jobava London at all? I've been inspired by some of my students who play it. Also, I've seen a lot of games of Danya. Yep, c5. That's one of the most challenging variations. I'm thinking how sharp I want to make this. All right, let's just play the standard move. Let's go e3. Yeah, a6. Okay, so my opponent knows what they're doing in this line. Now, here, I think I can take this pawn. If my memory serves me, I think I can take. Because I've stopped e5. And now you play knight a4, I believe. Whenever you play a move like that, you got to watch for queen a5. But I have c3. And then if bishop takes c5, there's going to be b4 to fork the 2 pieces. Okay, so they do that first. Now I take queen a5 is going to happen. How do I play this? Probably c3. And then just bishop d3. Just play with the 2 bishops. That seems like the thing to do. Yeah, thank you, Vrato. Thank you. Vrato's in the Twitch chat. Thanks for the game. Okay, knight e5. Yeah, a6. This is one of the better ways that they can handle this variation for sure. All right, now if I were a Jobava London player full-time, what would I do here? Probably something like queen f3 or maybe g4. I feel like g4 is the real, you know, thematic Jobava way to play this. But I kind of like this one better, so I'm going to go for it. Hinting at some ideas like take and bishop takes h6. Watch this knight over here. Still might go g4, but let's swing the queen up. There was a tactic for +3. Okay, well, don't tell me if it's this game you're talking about. Because if you told me now, it's possible that it would be enough information for me to apply, even if it is in a slightly different form. So, yeah, don't tell me. Oh, thank you, Luciano. I appreciate that comment on YouTube. Is it okay to ask you why you didn't consider a move which you would be able to explain if such occurs? Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm here for you guys and your improvement, your understanding. So I'm very happy to address anything like that. Yeah. Taking probably comes up short. I don't think I have enough firepower here. Something like check, king h8. I mean, maybe I could get a draw out of that, but I don't think it's enough. Knight d7 might be a good move. I mean, maybe bishop f4, e5, bishop takes h6. Is that possible? Probably doesn't work, though. It's close to working, but doesn't seem like it. Bishop d4, queen d6. Yeah, I don't quite have enough pawn play here. I'm just going to retreat. Not the move I want to play, though, because it blocks any attempt to play with these pawns. Black might go e5. Okay, f5. Seems like an ambitious move. I don't know. I might castle kingside now. I'm not feeling the attack anymore, so let's just castle this way and try to play it strategic. I'm going to do this. I got to play a little faster, too, of course. I still like my position. I still feel like I'm a little bit better here. But one thing I've noticed in the Joe Baba is sometimes if your initiative stalls out, you lack pawn play. So I'm kind of lacking play with my pawns is the thing. But the dark square play is still pretty nice. I'm threatening bishop d6. I've got a bit of a grip on the dark squares here. Yeah, could play queen g3. It just didn't seem like it did a whole lot to me in the short term. For me in the short term. So I'm not going to rush it. Even if it threatens mate, I think black would have easily dealt with that. All right, let's take here. And now let's ratchet up the pressure. This is guarded. There's a standoff on the file. I'm just going to go here. This is actually pretty uncomfortable for black, I think. I might go rook a7 next. I didn't like that f5 decision by my opponent. f3. Are they going to go knight d2? Let's go here. I got to hurry now. We're trying to invade. This could be a time scramble. We're going to keep this. Now, moving the bishop would be a blunder. Black's pretty bound up here. Let's go f3. But it's a total time scramble at this point. Yes, this will definitely be decided on the clock, unfortunately. Oh, I had rook takes g7. Okay. All right. Vogel, thank you for the game. That was a close one at the end. I think you defended that pretty well because I was looking for some sort of tactic to land right around here, but I wasn't quite seeing it. So, yeah, pretty good defense. So you guys wanted queen g3. Where did you want it? Like here? Yeah, I'm just not really seeing what it does, though. I mean, knight h5 is always possible. It would threaten bishop d6, kind of like the game, but queen f4 gives me the ability to come to d4, which is kind of nice. Yeah, thanks for the game, Vogel. Let's take a quick peek. I am curious, like right around here. I would bet this has all been played before. Oh. Those are pretty good footsteps to follow in. The one game in the Masters database. Oh, Magnus just castled here? That's so lame. Okay. As Stockfish says he's right. I was like, I want to attack. But yeah, we're following a game, Magnus versus Wesley So from 2017. So what does it think about the way I played it? And Magnus won that game, by the way. Yeah, it's just not that impressed here. What about G4? Knight D7, no big deal. Doesn't even, yeah, G4 felt a little risky. G4 in a classical game would be very risky. I mean, as played here, even though I didn't feel like I had much, I didn't mind how this turned out. I think black should go for a plan with E5 rather than F5. But pretty close game. Thanks for the game, Vogel. You guys like that? That we were following a Magnus game, huh? Let's play another Jobava if I can. I won't exclusively stick to this. I'm pretty good about mixing up the lines. Playing different variations, that is. In Lichess plays, I think it's fun to keep things fresh. But yeah, just a really interesting variation. Okay, now here, let's just go knight f3. A lot of times you can allow this trade, even in the conventional London where you're like putting a pawn on c3 instead of the knight. You can allow a trade like that because it strengthens your grip on e5. Now here again, this is somewhat similar to last time. I'm probably going to look to launch an attack. G4, also queen f3, queen h3 come to mind here. Let's go queen f3 again. Enables castling queenside. All right, here we go. This is like a typical development for black, but one that already puts them under some pressure, I think. H7's very well guarded. All right, let's go G4. Now we're enlisting the help of the G-pawn. Now I feel like a true Jobava player. Did you really doubt that Magnus would not play the best move? For a second, I did, He plays moves that Stockfish doesn't always agree with. But yes, there Stockfish did say just castles. Okay, now this is the type of move I was kind of hoping for. Because it looks pretty logical, but the weakness now is the bishop, which is undefended. So I have a little shot here. Knight takes f7. I'm just looking if there's anything better. But I'm almost certain I'm going to play that move. Yeah, let's do it. This is an idea you got to know in the London. Absolutely have to know. I don't even know how good it is here because I do win the dark square bishop. I'm pretty sure it's nice for me, but the g5 pawn will be loose. But we're forking these two pieces, so black has to take my knight. Yep. And now maybe take queen takes g5 is one possibility. Still like my position, though. I'm thinking f4 at that point. Try to castle queenside. These minor pieces are not impressive for black. They're pretty passive. Okay, g6. Queen h6 comes to mind here. Taking on c5 as well. Kind of like queen h6, though. Let's do it. How am I going to get in here, though? That's the thing. I mean, maybe I should have taken that. I don't know. Yeah, because this move pushes me back a little bit. Oh, I so want to play bishop takes g6. But it's not a guarantee black's going to take with the knight and get mated there. They're going to take with the pawn, I would presume. Well, let's go here. Yeah, just up a pawn with, I think, a still pretty good position. Queen b6, maybe here. Yeah, let's do this. Guard this pawn. Maybe next I push this. Yeah, let's start attacking. Fortunately, black cannot land a knight on g8, which would trap my queen. That would be really spoiling the day for me. Well, thank you, Mumlu says that's a typical Jobava player move. That's what I'm going for. Yeah, this position's really tough for black, for sure. I'm seeing, am I going to have a chance at a spectacular finish somehow? Let's take Got to take with the pawn now, as much as you don't want to. I see a way I can actually win a piece in a funny way. There's a funny line. I sound like Eric Rosen. I'm looking for more, though. But I'm not seeing it. So, okay. Actually, knight takes b5. Oof. I almost was not really considering options like in this vicinity. This is dead winning, though, because knight d6 is massive. I was, as a default there, I was thinking bishop takes f8. Idea, knight takes f8, queen h7, and then even though I lose my queen, I would win my opponent's queen. Yeah, now I think just knight d6 is going to absolutely win a massive amount of material. Is there checkmate? This wins the queen. I'm not seeing a mate, actually. So let's just win the queen. All right. And Magical, thank you for the game. Yeah, tough position out of the opening. I think this is a little bit too passive, this setup, this whole thing. This is kind of like that game. You guys remember where I played the Stonewall earlier in the stream? And I was saying rook e1 for white in that wasn't really that useful of a move because it wasn't preparing a break. Kind of feel the same way about rook e8. I think the only reason you play rook e8 is to go knight f8, as black did in the game, but it feels very passive. Truthfully, this position might already be kind of bad for black. But yeah, I really dislike that move. I think it gives white too much of a free hand to attack here. Just taking a very quick look. Queen h3, not even the best move, evidently. h4, g4, castle's better. Okay, yeah, black has chances here. Knight 6, d7. Move the knight back now. That's an important distinction because here the bishop is defended by the c-pawn. So yeah, that does look like the correct way to try to diffuse the situation. If black can successfully trade off that knight without giving up their dark square bishop, then, or, doubling the pawns or something, then it might be okay for black. But they did this a move later. Still okay for black if bishop takes e5 is played. And this is, as I said, a standard tactic. That's good to know. Yeah, it's a pretty big advantage now. +7, +4, 5, whatever. Is there a cool checkmate here? No. But this is winning. Okay. Well, thanks for the game. Appreciate it. And Magical. Who's up next? J Lack. All right, let's mix it up. I won't do another Jobava. Let's play e4 this game. Joe asked, wasn't queen h7 checkmate? Black's knight on f8 was guarding that square. Yeah, I was thinking of ideas like, oh, this is unusual. Ideas like playing queen h7 and then sacrificing the queen to either go after black's queen or maybe get my other rook over to deliver mate, like rooks on h8, h7, but I didn't see a clean way to do it. Am I a fan of Indian food? Yes. Yeah, I really like Indian food. Absolutely. Okay, let's go queen e2. Sergey says, hi, thanks for your streams and very useful quick analyses. Have one question about lessons. How do you deal with time zone differences with your students? Probably nothing out of the ordinary, but just try to find mutually agreeable time to do the lesson. Ooh, black's knight is going to get banished to the h8 square. Okay. Let's play h6. I know I might be letting the knight out, but I think black's going to play pawn g6. No, black does not. Hold on. Let's take this way. Now, I want to move this knight so I can get the bishop in. Where is the best spot for the knight? Yeah, probably here. I mean, knight f1 seems kind of slow, so let's do that. Hello, Tony. Good to see Tony Rotella in the chat. Yeah, you can play aggressively in the normal London, but it's definitely not the default. I agree with that. All right, let's go here. I'm trying to make way for queen h5 now. Black can play c5, but I still feel like queen h5 is a good move there. Threaten checkmate. This is another promising looking position that I'm starting to calculate some tantalizing lines. Oh, and I think this is going to lose pretty easily. Yeah. Take with check. And if black bails, we can drag them back here. We can guard the flight square and then deliver mate on h7 next move. Okay. Thanks for the game, J-Lack. Yeah, I think that setup was just a little too speculative. A lot of pawn moves that are a little disconnected, especially like a6. I mean, this operation here, I don't think is so good when white has a pawn on g3 because you have no forward potential with that knight. The square is also guarded, so yeah, I don't trust this setup. Looks a little too wonky. Thanks for the game. That was the King's Indian attack I was playing there as white, by the way. I keep getting the white pieces, right? Let's play knight f3 this game. Good luck. Casse en tranche. Oh, I think I see my opponent in the chat here on Twitch. It says, I love playing King's Indian setups against London with knight c6 and knight d7 to play e5. Could be the same opponent. Might not be. Joe is calling for a Bong Cloud game. Well, you know, I used to do the Bong Cloud as the final game of the stream. We still got a little ways to go here on this stream. But lately I've been doing the Blindfold game. And that seems to be well received. It's very challenging for me. It's pretty fun. Hey, John, I know you watch basketball. Do you watch the NFL? You know, I haven't been following the NFL much. I'll probably watch the game tonight. But I got to admit, I have not been following it a whole lot recently. This c5, I think, is a good move when black plays this way. Trying to control the d6 square, kind of clamp down on that. How about a blindfold Bong Cloud? Now you're really upping the ante. Who's your basketball team? Oh, I got to cheer for my Minnesota Timberwolves. My Timber Puppies. They're actually pretty decent this year, which is a rarity. But even with NBA, I haven't been following it nearly as much as I have in the past years. I mean, I used to do like fantasy sports and stuff like that a little bit. That's too much work, in my opinion. Okay, this looks a little dangerous for white, but you always have moves like bishop e5. Even retreating would not be probably that bad for me here. So I'm going to go bishop e5. The dark squares. Watch out for the dark squares because black has a ton of stuff on light squares here. They're almost playing checkers with their pawn structure. And the dark squares, therefore, are quite weak. Living in Minnesota, isn't it mandatory to be a hockey fan? Yes, practically. I like hockey as well. I think hockey is one of the best sports to watch in person. Certainly of like what we'd consider the big four sports here in the U.S. Football, basketball, baseball, hockey. I think hockey is the most exciting sport to watch in person of those four. I actually don't even think it's particularly close. But I didn't grow up like in a hockey household. So I wasn't kind of like exposed to it from a young age. But I do follow it a little bit. You guys agree with that? Yeah. Yeah, I highly recommend if you guys haven't been to a hockey game, you should go sometime. Because you can actually track the puck. Like, that's the problem with watching hockey on TV. It's very hard to actually track the puck. But in person, you can follow the action and you feel right there because the arenas tend to be pretty like intimate. You can feel the hits on the boards. It's really, you know, a pretty visceral experience. Do I ice skate? I know how. I very rarely skate though. And honestly, my skills are questionable at this point. Yes, we're talking about ice hockey. Sorry if I didn't make that clear. I don't know much about like field hockey and other versions. Okay, this is a real tough position for black. They're getting squeezed here. A lot of pressure here. Knight b6. e5, trying to open things up. We're going to go here. Probably rook b8. I just take d7. Okay. Satranch resigned. Yeah, thanks for the game. I had a bit of an advantage because I played this line before with c5. This is a theoretical position, in fact, here. And normally black takes on d4 and then plays d6. White's probably a tad better. Nothing too significant, though. You can also play a gambit line here, Makas Satranch. You can play d6 if you want. Gambit a pawn. But if you look at the stats on this line, black plays rook b8. They don't do too poorly, even though here it says white scores pretty well. I bet if you were to look this up on the Lichess database, and there are a lot of good players who play this for black. Black has some compensation here. Bishop h3, pressure down here. But yeah, this e6 move, while a somewhat natural-looking move, I just don't think it's the best here. And after c5, white's got a pretty nice grip on the position, mainly because it's hard for you to resolve the knight situation at this point. This pawn has a cramping effect. So I kind of feel for your plight a little bit later. Like, this position doesn't look like it should be that bad, but again, the engine's just ruthless. Engine says +5 here, and it's equal material still. But that's the extent of white's square domination. Black's weaknesses on the dark squares, their inability to get the bishop in the game or change the pawn structure. I mean, I fully believe this eval because I've seen lots of like auto wins for white from this. All right, thank you for the game. Sammy, all right. You know what? I'm going to try one more Jobava. I can't help it. I hope you guys don't mind. Again, I try to get a diversity of openings going on, but these produce some exciting games. They're great for streaming, these games. Okay, c6. Let's go. Yeah, I think I should go e3. Now, I haven't encountered an opponent who plays bishop f5 yet. Maybe Sammy will do that. Sammy does. Okay, now this is another big thing in the Jobava. You go f3. Little trap here. What happens if black plays the move knight h5? In this position, knight h5. Think about that. I'll tell you in a little bit. Black plays h6, though. All right, let's expand. This is what you want to do. So this is an operation you can undertake in this line. And now I'm going to go h4. Changing his slogan to hashtag Team Joby. Yes, that's right, Tony. Boom shakalaka. Also, Mumlu got the correct moves. Number of you did. Yeah, bishop takes b8 followed by g4. That's a nice little trap to know in this line. All right, g5 tempting. I don't know that I should play it yet, though. I kind of think that's premature because, stuff like knight h5. So let's do this. This is typical. And you've kind of softened up black's king side by playing this way, g4, h4. Bishop d6, I'm going to meet with this move, most likely. All right, there. Probably still this move. Don't really like the bishop on this square. I don't think that's a real productive square. I'm very happy with the trade, again, because of the dark square weaknesses for black. And now, pretty soon, I'm going to look to punch with g5. I can't do it yet, though. Let's castle. Now g5 is on deck. Okay. So g5, I think knight h5 is probably the only move we're at all concerned about here. Let me just think if that alters my plans. I can also go for e4, by the way. This is another break. e4, e5. Don't know. a3, but a3 I don't think I should play. e4, e5. All right, let's play g5. I feel like just playing the straightforward move. John, how's the ice fishing this time of year? I would presume it's pretty decent. I also don't do a whole lot of that. Well, none of that, I should say. But I'd like to. I'd like to get into that, in fact. That seems like a good hobby to have. Yeah, I think this is nice for me now because I get this file to work with. So I'm thinking about this move at this point. Black does have king f8, though, to be fair. I could play rook h8 and then queen h7. That might be the better way to do this. It's a fun move to play too, rook h8. Oh, that's nice, Juho. Well, if I ever meet you in person, maybe I can convince you to take me out sometime. Ice fishing. Is ice fishing expensive? I think it could potentially be, because, you know, any sort of like outdoor gear that you get involved with, yeah, that can quickly get expensive for sure. But probably ice fishing in particular is more economical than, well, I don't know, actually. I'm not knowledgeable enough to say. I mean, you can normally fish like fairly cheap too if you're not going out on a boat. Okay. Well, let's try to grind the endgame. I'm not seeing anything too glamorous here. We're just going to try to win up a pawn. E4, that might be a little bit rushed. Maneuver my knights. We're going to go here. Okay, I got to worry about my time, though, most importantly. Sammy's going to rush me. Wait a minute. That's a bad move. Watch out for B4, Sammy. I warned you. I've got this square covered. All right. We're in business now. Make sure I keep the pawns defended. Still got to play quickly here, that's for sure. Okay. Okay, stuff's getting traded. Maybe a few more trades than I would like here. Ideally. Okay, I'm glad we traded one pair of knights, then I don't have to worry about. Oh, all right. I think you did me a favor with that trade. Because again, when your opponent has a knight, they have a chance. Always remember that. Check. Oh, we get the knight checkmate at the end. All right. We don't want A takes B7 stalemate, right? We do everything with check around here. There's a cute game played in Tata Steel today, by the way, with a knight C7 checkmate. It was in the challengers section. I won't spoil it, but go check it out if you're curious. Featured a queen sacrifice as well. But it wasn't a traditional smothered mate. It's a little bit different. All right, thanks for the game, Sammy. Interesting little battle right there. I think you should probably meet G5 with knight H5. Yeah, knight H5. I was happy when you opened the file because I knew I'd have some pressure down there. Wow, again, the engine just no regard for life here. Plus 4.3. Queen H7, my original intention is good. Okay, show me the win after King F8. Okay, for some reason, oh, that's good. that's a little hard to see. Might have found that in a classical game, probably not a blitz game. Yeah, but I think if you play knight H5, you're more or less doing all right here because wasn't quite sure how I was going to get through against that. I still think the bishop coming to B4 is like not great, but you in fact made it work. This position has been played a bunch, evidently. Makes sense. So thanks for the game. Good game, Sammy. Close one. The gamer guy. Good luck. Yes, Daniel Darda versus Polina Shuvalova was the game from the challengers section I was referencing. The gamer guy, are you there? Okay. Let's play D6 on move 1. The London. I say like I literally just didn't play the London. But I have, like, whenever I play these D6 systems, G6, I swear people still go London a lot of times. I'm all set to play like something a little unusual for me, and they London it up. So we'll play this way. Clipno says, hi, John. Just done the basic test on 100 endgames on Chessable with 9 mistakes. What do you think? Yeah, that basic test is pretty difficult. It is harder than what De La Via originally anticipated, that's for sure. That's very, very clear from the feedback and my own thinking too. When I was making that content for the course. Okay, black's got to be careful here, or white rather has to be careful because this bishop could be under fire. Knight takes e5 would blunder a piece. So yeah, don't worry about that. 9 mistakes on the initial test there on 100 endgames. That sounds, in fact, pretty normal, and that just will give you a lot of good fodder for improvement. I'm going to play ambitiously here. I'm actually going to purposely try to sacrifice this pawn. If bishop c2, I'm thinking knight d3. Mumlu says, getting to 2,200 is easy. I was 2,300 a month ago, and after a lot of hard work, I finally reached 2,200. Nice. That's like the saying, like the fastest way to become a multimillionaire is to start out as a billionaire. Like make some bad investments or something. Queen e2. I was hoping my opponent wouldn't play that move. Yeah, that kills some of the fun in the position, doesn't it? Now I probably just have to straight up guard this pawn. Let's go knight d7. Am I a big Eminem fan? Dothcrane, you always come up with the most interesting questions. No, I mean, I've listened to Eminem's music, of course. He was sort of generational for, I'm 35, so, I definitely grew up in a time period where he was pretty influential, but I wouldn't say I'm like a big fan of his stuff as much as I say Mom Spaghetti on stream. Yeah, no problem, Dothcrane. Oh, thank you, cheeseburgers, man. I guess I'll take that as a compliment. Should I go for a pawn here? Seems pretty legit. Also seems a little greedy, but I'm tempted. Let's do it. I'm curious how white's going to react. I think white's going to play here, but I actually do believe they should play here. So we'll see. Oh, okay. Proves me wrong. Maybe now I go here. I'm just thinking these pawns are pretty fragile. I don't want to take that right away because of b3. I was worried about b3 trapping the bishop. But maybe this one is the way to do it because, like, how does white keep this together? If they push the pawn, that's a good knight. If rook b1, then I can take there with tempo on the rook. So this might just be good for me. Take now. What is the best food to eat while playing chess? Interesting question. Definitely something that's not sloppy and doesn't require like a napkin. Probably like a power bar, to be honest. That's my practical answer. You don't want to be that player, though, if you're playing over the board, who's eating like something disgusting. And then, especially, I've seen people like lick their hands at the board and like move pieces or press their clock without washing them. It gets gross in a hurry. Really dry lasagna? Fish? Okay, thank you, gamer guy. That position was difficult. I think right around here, this is already looking... I think knight a4 gives you some problems. Yeah, knight a4 is good. So, in this variation, I do think you can play e4. There's nothing wrong with it, but you might be better served by playing it in the conventional London way, e3. And maybe here you want to avoid the d3 square for the reason that happened in the game. Like bishop e2, or they sometimes even play bishop c4 here. Kind of keeps out of range of this idea down the d file. Thank you for the game. All right. Oh, feed. Hey. You were in the chat earlier. Greetings. Good luck. Oh, I don't want to play another one of those. Let's play Black Mardemour Gambit. Kind of similar because we're still going to go knight c3, but we're playing straight up Gambit style. Gonna play f3 next. This is another one of these Gambits that the computer hates. I think this is like a second tier Gambit. But my opponent's not taking it. Are they going to go d4 after this? Is that the plan? I don't know. We're going to find out. Or e5, I should say, not d4. This is an interesting approach. It's probably decent. All right, let's do this. And if black takes on d4, I'm not quite sure how I'm going to react. I have some ideas, but I'm not sure yet. Also interesting. Probably good. All right, you know what? We're going all in here. This is probably not going to turn. Oh, I don't have bishop a3. I thought I had bishop a3 after knight takes e4, but I don't. Still, it might be okay. Let's go queen d3. Eat crunchy to annoy opponent. Right, that's another way that you could totally annoy not only your opponent, but all the other boards around you. Queen h4, g3. Knight takes, take. Then queen e4. That could get interesting. I actually might not mind that, even though it would win my rook in the corner. This looks pretty sketch for me, but I'm not seeing how black can punish me. So I'm doing it. Okay, now I probably step out of this. Let's go here. Black has to be careful. Bishop g6, take. That actually wouldn't even lose a piece for black, but it looks like it does at first. Okay. Am I getting an initiative now? Knight takes c3. I can take on f5. All right. Here I could castle. Yeah, let's just castle. Bishop takes d3. Queen takes f6, maybe. Ooh, now g4 comes to mind for sure because the queen is loose. I could start with bishop h6 too. g4 is probably most straightforward, though. Let's just play it. No queen g5. My bishop guards that square. So I was able to flip this on my opponent. Any tips for someone trying to get into blindfold chess? You know, I would say the biggest tip is just focus on improving your normal chess. And blindfold tends to come with it. Yeah, I don't have a whole lot of specific experience training blindfold itself. It can be done for sure. I mean, you can go into your preferences, hide the moves, gradually start trying to play games where you see progressively further. But I wouldn't recommend specifically trying to train your blindfold skills. I don't think there's a lot of practical value to it, to be honest. Mostly you're better off just trying to improve your conventional chess skills. This would be a blunder because of this. Rook b1. Oh, dare I do this? Oh, I got to do it now that I see it. This is kind of a vicious move. It's a little bit mean, but it's definitely fun. Mate threat. Could have maybe played queen g4 first. Queen g4. Yeah, knight f7. There's a lot of stuff that wins at this point. This is going to be checkmate soon. Okay. Fuid, thank you for the game. Wonder what this username means. This almost sounds like... I don't know what this sounds like. It sounds like a place name, you know? I know we were talking about Icelandic volcanoes a week or two ago, so almost sounds like that. Thanks for the game. Take a quick peek here. I think you had a good position. I think this line is pretty legit. If you, it's a way to gambit, decline the gambit. Evidently, you should take here. Yeah, if takes, I was thinking about playing e5, but I wasn't sure. Computer doesn't buy e5. It says just take back. This feels pretty lame, though. I think I just have an isolated pawn. You're probably just better here. Yeah, a bit Tolkien-esque, yeah. Bit Tolkien. Why do I have disabled arrows in the analysis? I find that kind of annoying when the arrows just start appearing as soon as you click the engine. I don't like that. I just like looking at the lines. They do appear if you hover over this. But yeah, I find the bleh of arrows to be pretty annoying. Okay, thanks to the game feed. Sven Kirk is up next to play e4. Someone was mentioning Muzio Gambit. Maybe I can try something like that. We'll play King's Gambit here. All right. Big Nays says my money is on Sven. Let's do it. Bishop b5. So black's playing like a Philidor style thing. I feel like I should point the bishop at this square. That feels wrong to do anything else. So let's do it. Could take on e5. It's just castle. Sven, the whole stream is rooting for you. Got to come through. All right, let's play aggressive. Oh, thank you, Urban Pope. Very kind of you to say that. Thank you, thank you. Castles? Yeah, I was hanging that pawn. I kind of sensed black was going to go for that based on what they were doing, but loses that pawn. Okay, now I could play like knight a4, knight b6, bishop e3, bishop b6. Let's play knight a4. Looks like a good idea. How to full screen Lichess. What do you mean? The board is adjustable. You can drag your board. There's an option for, I think they call it like handles. You can change the handles on the board. Tony says you can also put it in Zen mode. All right. What do we have here? Oh, I have a couple things. There's mate in 2. But I was thinking even queen d4 if we want to pick up more material, loose pieces, but this is a checkmate in 2. King c8 only move. Hello, Juice, by the way, on YouTube. Sphinx Juice. Greetings. Okay. Thank you, Sven Kirk, for the game. Yeah, so queen d7. Maybe this is okay for you, but got to watch those long-range diagonal moves. Those will hurt you a lot in chess. And it's honestly a pretty pervasive thing. Like amateur players often do not see these moves. So I think here you should probably prepare castling kingside. Bishop e7, try to castle short. It's already a bit uncomfortable for you, I would say, but probably playable. As in, you're not in trouble yet. Against the King's Gambit, if you're looking for a simple system, by the way, and you don't want to take the pawn, that's definitely the best move, but it can be more complicated. Bishop c5 is always, a pretty clean recommendation, I think. Because the point is, with the King's Gambit, white is not actually threatening to take this pawn yet. I mean, even if black played something ridiculous, take here, there's queen h4 check. And if g3 take, and it's this usual problem with the king and the rook forked. So bishop c5 is a useful move. You just seize this weak diagonal. White still can't take here. White should play this move. Then you can play d6. And even here, this double capture is not a threat because of take, and black will win. So if any of you out there are looking for an easy line to play against the King's Gambit, I would recommend that one. Thanks for the game. Okay. Wapi or Wapa. Good luck to you. Thank you, Travis, by the way. Nice message on YouTube. Appreciate it. All right. What have I not played? Well, we got to get a Scandi in, obviously. Should I try to play a Gambit line in this? I'll try. Takes knight f6. Now, I mentioned this before, but my only beef with the knight f6 Scandi is that most people do not allow you the fun Gambit lines. They don't allow, like the Portuguese variation. I'm going to try to play in Gambit style. You should just take d5 or bishop g4. I'm going to try to play in Gambit style, but don't hold your breath. but we'll try to play aggressive here. Okay, okay. Let's go bishop d6. Knight d4, knight d2. Let's play h6. Takes, okay. Ooh, that move does not look right. That cannot be correct. Whether I can punish it, that is a different matter. I could take. Taking is kind of lame, but probably decent because after all these trades, knight d4 forks these two pawns. You guys didn't really come here to see moves like that, though. So you know what? Let's play e4. And I'm going to castle queenside. That's what we're doing. We're going to get an alignment here. We're sacking two pawns now. Knight bd2, but we got some pressure. We got some significant pressure here. Ooh, nice reply. That's a good reply. And okay, let's try to increase the pressure, shall we? Find the best move and play something else, yes. Now I should probably take. I should probably begin to think about capturing. Yeah, I think this is just winning. Unless I blunder mate. Oh, maybe it's not winning. That's a nice little defense right there. I got to play this move. It's probably still working for me. But yeah, very clever defense right there, threatening mate in one. Have I played Hikaru? Yes, I actually played him a couple games last week, I believe. Okay, take. Am I scared of the c-file stuff? Probably not. This bishop's even defended. Also guarding c1, so take that. Now if rook c6, I can even play the fun move rook c8. Take, back rank. Should I do it? It's kind of a funny move. There's also knight d4. That's like the ultimate buzzkill move. Do I have anything better? I mean, there's lots of good moves here. Queen move is probably good, like queen here. So white's not threatening much other than my queen. I think this might be the best move. So I'm going to play it. Threatening mate. And if takes, probably take. Yeah, take. White's going to run their king out. Okay. Yeah, I don't see a mate here because the rook is guarding this square. It's very close, but I'm just going to do this. And then we're going to go win f2 after this, which I think is going to force a trade of queens at minimum. King c1, queen e1. And then I have bishop takes e4. Almost a balestra mate. So-called balestra mate with the queen. Oh, okay. He's trying to catch me pre-moving or something. Nice try. All right. Thank you for the game. Wapa? It's hard to say because there should be, in my English pronunciation, there's no like vowel between the W and the P. Yeah, so that's my beef with the knight f6 Scandi. I have played knight f6 Scandi. It's perfectly legit. You get some like Alekine's defense vibes going out of it sometimes. But the problem, in my opinion, is if you're trying to gambit, a lot of times they don't let you gambit. But we are able to gambit here. I think probably around here, white should play bishop h4. And as this is played, probably king h1 is the biggest potential error. I think knight bd2 is just fine for white. That was a nice trick. I agree. All right, we are almost out of time for today. We have time for one more game. You guys know the drill. This is the most difficult game of the day for me. The final game, I'm going to play blindfolded. By the way, the person who was asking about how to get the board full screen, here's where we're talking about Zen mode. You can do that. Also, you can resize the board if you select here. I don't have it shown on mine, but you can select it to do it. All right, invisible pieces. Here we go. Never know how this is going to turn out. Oh, I got a 20. Oh, this player's good. All right. Oh, boy. I got my work cut out for me here. I played Shantham Grux before. Am I black? I'm playing black. Maybe they'll abort. Nope, no dice. I really got my work cut out for me here. So if you're following on Twitch and YouTube, I think one of the mods is probably going to put the link to follow my game specifically in the chat. So if you want, you can go check that out. I know you guys can't see the board. I do apologize for that. That's just part of playing Blindfold. And I don't have the setup necessarily for Bishop F4. Okay, play E6 here to show the board in a separate window. But if you want, you can just follow along from my perspective. Okay, this I like. He's going to take B7, but knight D7. I played this position before. This, I think, is very good for black. This is not the critical line for white. Undoubtedly, I got to be careful, though, and the position's kind of messy. But if I play fast, maybe I can press my edge here. Materials equal. White did win that pawn, but I just defended. Okay, there. Probably just castle here. Yeah. Let's go ahead and castle. Take back on D6 if they take. And C2 is hanging. I think the pawn on C2 for white is hanging. But let's pre-move the capture first. Thank you, D-Pawn Opener, by the way. Yes, this will be the last game of the session. The stream is not bugged. Yeah, this is this is intentional. Okay, C3. Let's go rook B8. We're going to hit that queen. Queen takes A7. Take B2. Yep. Queen A3 hits my rook. Is G2 hanging? I think G2's hanging, right? Oh, but they're going to take D6 maybe? Well, I'm going to take here. White hasn't castled yet, have they? I don't think so. I don't think White's even developed their knight yet. Oh, they have a bishop there. Oh, my. I totally forgot about that bishop. Oh, boy. All right, well, let's play fast now. I did not see that bishop. Literally and figuratively. Oh, man. Okay, I'm down a rook. Don't panic, John. Knight E2. I'm a little scared now, though. I'm not going to lie. There is a pawn there, right? They played C3. Did they play? Yeah, they played C3. Okay, let's go here. I was right that they hadn't castled. I was definitely right about that. All right, rook D1. Yeah. Let's just go here. Rook D2. Okay. Knight in. No. That's undefended. Got to go D6. Then now castle. Okay, so let's go there. I need to speed up if I want any chance here. So rook's on D2, F1. Knight's on E2. I'm threatening Queen G5, right? Maybe I could have gone Queen G5 on the previous move, actually. Queen C5, that guards. Okay. E3. Rook F3. Ay. This is getting tough. Let's go back. Rook G3. Where is the... I'm losing the position in my head. Yeah, I'm just play h6. I can't figure out where to go. King h7. Ah, okay, takes that. I think this is going to be a rip. Down a rook now for nothing. Trying to guard g6, e4. Takes it. Yeah, I don't have a pawn on d5. Pawn ending. Oh, he offers me a draw. That's you shouldn't offer me a draw. You're winning here. You're winning. I'm not going to take it because my opponent's winning. GG. That was a nice gesture. GG, Shrantham Grux. You deserve that victory. Yeah, very classy move there at the end, indeed. Rook takes b2. I just forgot about the bishop on f1. See, that's what can happen when you're playing blindfold. If it's an unusual move or messy position, that's when it's hardest. So, yeah. I don't know what I thought. I thought the bishop was exchanged for some reason. Let me show the pieces again. But, yeah, that's one thing about playing blindfold chess is the messier the position, the harder it is to keep track of. This position, I think, is very good. But in hindsight, I just wish I would have gone here because rook b1 actually is a pretty significant idea. What was I thinking in this position? Yeah, I must have just been hallucinating that white had a different minor piece than the bishop on f1. I don't know why, though. Kind of an odd mistake to make because it's not like I was thinking I was up a piece here. Yeah, queen b6. Oh, don't tell me it's minus 12. Queen h4 too. Queen h4, g3, queen e4. Oh, yeah, that's crushing. That's totally crushing. Even after this move, I'm fine. Queen h4, bishop d3. Yeah, I was not in a mental state to find that. Someone looking at this game is going to be really confused by rook takes g2. But yeah, this is a nice little variation for black. So white should castle here. Castle, and then if c6, white can start shoving these pawns if they want. The Zorro maneuver says, boom, shakalaka. Yeah, exactly. It's like a little Z pattern. I like that. Yeah, my blindfold game needs work, evidently. I mean, look, it's tough when you're playing 3-0 against a good player. I actually realized, too, I had this move here. Probably wouldn't have saved me, but that would have been better. I don't think I had any chances after this. Yeah, it's too much at this point. And very kind gesture, Shrantham Grux, to offer a draw here. But, you know, plain to see you're winning. And, yeah, thanks for the game. Appreciate it. So I don't know. I'll try to improve my blindfold skills, maybe. I might have to do some practice. You guys are asking about blindfold practice. I might have to literally practice this. So thanks, as always, for everyone tuning in today. Appreciate it. Apologies if I wasn't able to get to your game. This is 2 hours of Lichess plays every week. Hope you enjoyed it. And have a great week. We're going to raid someone. Show that person some love. Thanks again to Lichess, as well as the Lichess mods. Looks like we're raiding Mercia Talou. So y'all take care. Have a good rest of your day.